I was born on July 17, 1923. First 12 years of my life, I grew up in Colma. I was able to attend grammar school in South San Francisco and junior high. And then high school, I transferred to Jefferson, which was just a few blocks from my house. Then I went to San Mateo Junior College for 2 years and got my degree there. And the week of the final examinations, I got my draft notice that Uncle Sam wanted me to join the U.S. Army. I remember getting on a train and we went to the Presidio of Monterey. And I was there for several days and got outfitted with, the GI clothing and all. And then they sent 7 of us back to Fort Belvoir, Virginia in the Army Engineer Corps. When I finally did go overseas, it was on special assignment and they sent us to the island of Leyte in the Philippines. We were lucky we got to get in on the invasion of Okinawa, which turned out to be one of the costliest of World War II in the Pacific. And from there, when the Japanese finally surrendered, a group of us were sent to Korea as occupation troops. I was there for a few months, and then from there, my time came up, and I was sent home and discharged on the 16th of February, 1946. I went back to work for the nursery that I had worked for prior to going in. My boss came in with his truck, and he had 2 women in the truck with him. He says, one's his niece, and one's his sister. Well, when they got out of the truck, and I saw the niece walking around, that was the end of me. We got married in 1947 and our daughter was born in 49. By that time, my father and I both had left the other nursery we were working for and took over our own nursery. And after we sold that one, that's when we purchased property here in Half Moon Bay, my wife and I. What we were growing basically was field flowers. Jelly stock was my main crop. And we grew iris, daffodils, like I say, marguerite daisies, stock. I had my own sales area in the San Francisco Flower Market. After the city incorporated, there was an opening that came up on the Planning Commission. And I served on that committee for about 7 years. And then after that, I decided to run for city council. That was in 1968 and served 3 full terms on the city council, 4 of those years as the mayor.
I was one of the original baby boomers born on our dairy farm in San Gregorio, January 1st, 1946. June 14th, 1963, my buddy and I were the first graduating class from Half Moon Bay High School. We still lived in San Gregorio. Monday morning, June 17th, Silvio was 18, I was 17. The Navy recruiter picked us up, and we actually enlisted in the Navy in the San Mateo post office on 4th Avenue there, and we were gone. Our destroyer was sent to the Pacific, and our George K. McKenzie went up off of Vladivostok, Russia, to snoop on the microwaves up there for some reason or another. The PT boats came down to attack August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of 64. They were Russian PT boats driven by North Vietnamese. That's when McNamara and President Johnson started the war. We were there the first week. We did shore support when the Marines started to land with our 5-inch guns. We would put shore support to clear the way for them to land. One night, tragically, our wonderful naval pilots were coming from the north. They were shot down, and the helicopter was flying to try to rescue them, and we could never find them. Tough time, but we were doing the best we could under an unfortunate situation, and we spent just about 2.5 years over there, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. I was discharged a day or 2 before Christmas of '66. In 1969, Ida and I got married, and we bought our first house right here across the field and worked with her father in the barn. Ida's dad and mom, they always said, it's better to be a giver than a taker. And he instilled that in me and gave me time to do that. I was approached to have the opportunity to apply for the Agriculture Education Foundation Leadership Program to develop future leaders in California agriculture. Thanks to my wife and Al and Ida Adreveno, they gave me the privilege to go through that program and then get on their board and travel all over America for that. Look where I've been to the White House and I've been to the outhouse.
Al and John are passionate about the United States. They're passionate about their service to this country, and they bring that passion to this coastside. They are incredible public servants. They've dedicated their life, obviously both in the military and afterwards, to serving the community. They embody public service so much, and they do it in a way which is so gracious and kind. It's such an example to the next generation of American citizens.
Being a farmer in Half Moon Bay and a community leader, we got a lot of good positive things done with everybody involved. Our daughters are adults now and very successful and are still giving. And our grandson and granddaughter is getting very involved too. The flow is going from leadership from a 100-year-old to a 78-year-old. If you're not giving, you're not living.